First and foremost, thank the Lord for allowing all this to transpire. It's a good old-fashioned butt kicking. It's no excuses, no nothing. Their coaches did a heck of a job preparing their team. Obviously, we didn't. That was good. I mean, that was a really good old-fashioned butt kicking.
I love what Deion Sanders just said. First and foremost, he thanked God. And then he acknowledged that the Oregon Ducks laid an old-fashioned butt whooping on the Colorado Buffaloes. He owned it. Period. I saw so many people across social media saying that Deion was humbled. He was broken. I'm not sure if people really understand what humility actually means. Let me help you out with that. There are two meanings to the word humble. One's an adjective and one's a verb. The adjective means to be not proud, not arrogant, and not assertive. Reflecting or expressing or offered in a spirit of deference or submission. Ranking low in hierarchy or scale. Insignificant. Unpretentious. Okay. The other definition is even worse. This is that of humble as a verb. To make someone humble. In spirit or manner. Number two, to destroy the power, independence, or prestige of someone. If that's what you're looking for in a football coach or a football player, you're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want my coaches feeling humbled. I don't want my players feeling humbled. There's a huge difference between being beat down, and being humbled. I want my coaches and my players turning around, working hard to get better, and overcoming the adversity that they just faced. A humble person, as you just saw in the definition, is someone whose spirit is broken, who's completely submissive, who's deferent. I don't want that in a football player. Definitely don't want that in a football team. A humble person is a submissive and inferior person. You want that in a football team? I know in this day and age, people are becoming comfortable bandying around the term toxic masculinity. Today's society wants men who are less tough, less assertive, less aggressive, less proud, less dominant, more humble. You can take your desire for humility and that nonsense of toxic masculinity and stick it where the sun doesn't shine. This is football. It's one of the last places where men can actually exalt themselves and be men. I have an idea. If you're looking for humility, don't watch football.
No, you don't need to hammer home a player. A player knows. I mean, he could fool himself and trick himself, but when he looks at the mirror, he knows what he's looking at. Something like this is I'm not going to say, people around the country would say this is what they needed to humble themselves. We wasn't arrogant or whatever. We're confident people. If our confidence offends your insecurity, that's a problem with you. It's not us. We expect to do well. We expect to play well. We expect to win every game we step out there. We expect to practice to perfection and go out there and execute the things that we practice. We just didn't do it today.
No one on any football team in the country, not even on my grandson's JV team, does any player get in the locker room and say, I need to be humble today. And they definitely don't sit and go, you know what? I might not win today. That doesn't happen. No player in any locker room, anywhere in the country, suits up, gets ready to play a game, and says to themselves, I need to find ways to be more humble on the football field. That doesn't happen. Winners simply don't think that way. I have a pop quiz for you. An easy quiz. What do Deion Sanders, Dabo Swinney, Marcus Freeman, and even Nick Saban have in common this football season? They're all winning football coaches who have lost games this year. Dabo Swinney, he's lost 2. Stop looking at this for more than it is. The Colorado Buffaloes got beat and got beat bad by the Oregon Ducks. That's it. It's a part of the game.
But it's not something that was needed. It's just like saying you get in a car wreck or something. Oh, he needed that to slow him down. You don't need that. It's just stupid. It's just something that happened, and they got the best of us today. That's just it.
There's no message sent. There's nothing for Deion and his team to receive. If there's any message, the players need to know right now, today, get back to work. Coaches and players, get back to work. Period. That's it. That's the entire message. Get back to work. You're not the fastest gun out there. There are bigger, better, faster, stronger people out there, better teams than you. And if you want to compete, you just have to work harder. That's it. That's the entirety of the message.
You don't always have to get your butt kicked to learn. You can win and learn. I mean, that's not something to learn. It's something to glean from. It's not just the kids. The coaches are accountable too. We are all accountable. Let's start with me. We're accountable for this. It's not just the kids. Get your butt up and let's go. We ain't got time to have no pity party. There's nobody walking around the locker room with napkins and tissues. Get your butt up. Let's get on that plane. Let's go. We got work to do.
You see, our society is in a very, very bad state. Maybe it's social media. Maybe it's the insanity of our government. But I've never seen so many people openly wish and desire to see good men defeated. I've never seen so many people vehemently curse success. So many people are angry. So many people lack ambition. So many people revile success. And that tells me most people don't understand what the winner mentality is and may not be winners themselves. There's not a winner out there that doesn't see the value in adversity. There's not a winner out there that doesn't see the opportunity that adversity creates.
We just got to perform better, much better in every phase, not just offense, defense, as well as special teams. We got our butts kicked again, I reiterate, in all three phases. And this is the kind of opportunity you have as a coach, as a man, as a father, to lift them up, not just shoot them down. You got to lift them up.
Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes lost yesterday. No, they didn't lose. They got stomped. They got embarrassed. And people openly cheered that beatdown. They feel that Deion Sanders and his sons and Travis Hunter and the rest of the team deserved that beatdown, like it was earned. They had to be beat. But I guarantee you, two things will happen now that Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes have experienced such a defeat. One, people who despise Deion Sanders will continue to despise him. And secondly, he and his players and the coaches will pick themselves up by their britches and get ready for USA.
Teams are trying to beat me. They're not trying to beat our team. They keep forgetting I'm not playing anymore. I had a great career. I'm serious. I got a gold jacket aimed back. So I'm good. But that's what it really is. I don't think they get any extra satisfaction, you know. It is what it is. And I signed up for it, so let's go. No, they don't make it tough on our team. These are grown men. I'm not out there. If I was out there playing against every coach I played against, we would be totally dominant.
That's the difference between winners and losers. Losers love wallowing in the mud. Winners, on the other hand, dust off, take a shower, and then get back to work and figure out what they need to do to get better. Only losers remain losers. Winners do not remain stationary targets. You cannot stay where you are. Winners always seek to improve, and they understand what improvement means to their betterment.
I don't say stuff just to say it for a click, contrary to what somebody say. But I keep receipts. One thing that I could say honestly and candidly, you better get me right now. This is the worst we're going to be. You better get me right now.
If you're a Christian, you know this inherently. Do you know why most Christian churches have an empty cross? Jesus isn't on the cross. Because in the world's biggest defeat, in the world's biggest loss, they killed Jesus. They broke his bones. They embarrassed him. They insulted him. But he's not on the cross anymore. Many in the crowd cheered. They loved his humiliation. It was just fantastic for them. But those of us who believe know full well Jesus beat the cross. We don't look at the cross to remember his humiliation, if you will. We look at the cross to understand the promise that's been made, the resurrection, how you move forward, what lies ahead. That's the cross that we look at. We look at the cross as evidence of a huge, magnificent win born from pain, embarrassment, and disdain. Not me, not you, not Deion Sanders. None of us are equivocal to Jesus Christ. There simply is no comparison. But what we are people who continue to believe and continue to have faith. And because of that belief, Because of that strong faith, we know what the future holds, both spiritually and in our lives. Deion Sanders has won a lot in his life. He's won Super Bowls. He's an All-Pro. He's got a golden jacket. He's in the Hall of Fame. He played professional football and professional baseball. Yet, many times, he's lost. Without doing anything on Google, can you tell me how many times Deion Sanders has lost? I doubt that anybody can, because you know why? We don't remember the losses. We remember the Super Bowls as in plural. We understand that he's been an All-Pro 9 times. We all know he's in the Hall of Fame. We don't have to look that up. Winners always remember winning. And why do we remember these things? Why do we remember these wins? It's the wins. It's the winning that's important. Nick Saban, arguably the best coach in college football, got run out of the NFL, and his record is 274, 67, and 1. Is he remembered for the 67 losses he's had, or for the 7 national championships he's earned? Deion Sanders knows the sweet taste of success, and he has felt the sting of loss as well. All winners have. That's what drives us to be better, to be even more successful. Having won and lost tells us what the future holds. We've been there. We know what we need to do to get further.
Because I like what I see. I love I know I have on shades, but I can see the future, and it looks really good. So I'm excited about it. I really am.
We know what the future looks like. The Colorado Buffaloes could lose every single game the rest of the season, and they would still be winners. Do you know that every ticket for every game that they play is already sold out? That's winning. A team that won just 1 game last year has revitalized the community of Boulder and has just basically energized, electrified the entire University of Colorado fan base and student body. That's winning. The team led by Coach Prime has already driven over $90 million in revenue for the school. That's definitely winning. The Colorado football games are breaking viewership records every single weekend. Not sure what they did last night, but we'll see. But I guarantee you next week against USC, again, they will break viewership records across the country. That's winning. Players from across the country are contacting the University of Colorado and the sports department about either transferring or being recruited by Coach Prime. That's winning. And despite the level of vitriol, despite the disdain, despite the insults, besides the nasty tweets, the haters can't understand how he keeps winning. They can't even control themselves, because through it all, they can't not watch. That's winning. Even people like Jason Whitlock, who have spewed such venom towards Coach Prime, keep watching. When your enemies can't take their eyes off you, that's winning. Is Deion Sanders brash, arrogant, off-putting, and needs some humility? Only losers think that way. Winners embrace that attitude. We used to live in a society where we called that manly, being a man. I don't want to follow some wimpy guy into battle. I don't want a wimpy guy, a wussy guy leading me. Players want to be led by badasses, and we also want to be surrounded by other badasses. If you have a problem with Coach Prime, that's on you. Nothing's going to change that. Every single week and every day on Twitter, the haters are going to continue to hate. But you know what? Those same haters will tune in and watch the game against USC next week. Win or lose, that's winning. You guys don't understand. Hate all you want, but you can't not watch. You have to watch because it fuels you. And what must drive you crazy is knowing that by watching, you are helping Deion succeed. You can't have it both ways. Let me know what you guys think. I'm still in there with Coach Prime. Talk to you soon.
Get your butt up and let's go. We ain't got time to have no pity party. Ain't nobody walking around the locker room with napkins and tissues. Get your butt up. Let's get on that plane. Let's go. We got work to do.